Good to go racing again here at Brands Hatch. Nice restart by Riccardo Feller. He goes midway around Clark Kerr and he's going to vault clear again by a good half a second or so of the Ferrari on the run up towards Paddock Hill Bend. It's Feller who leads. It is Leclerc second. It's Juncker third. It's Porsche, Ferrari, Mercedes, AMG, BMW fourth. Leading Silver, Matisse Lismont. The cars make the run round Paddock up towards Druids for the sixth time of asking. And Riccardo Feller it is who leads the way. He was.
Coloured Aston Martin with Jesse Cronjes. They come underneath the Bilstein Bridge. Let's see who's got the performance down the long straight. Pretty even, I would say, there. Verstappen got a much better exit from the Gallows Hill corner. He's looking up the outside, which will become the inside into Tiergarten, and he's made that with a little touch again. It's the second time he's been involved in a little bump and run. But the door was left.
If you would say word, because there wasn't much gap as we picked it up at the apex.
Richard Neary at one point was developing a real reputation for being a wet weather specialist, and these could be the perfect conditions for the former Donington winner in British GT to make some progress. He almost gets attacked though by the Ferrari, which clipped the tyre stack and knocked it out of position. That could be treacherous for GT4.
The top teams need to get onto the drivers in GT4 and say the line is different. As you can see, a great move from
Brown and Mark Warren win, coming into Knickerbrook for the last time. You're on board with Simon Orange. Chun Chung Ip is right there behind him in the Honda as they make that climb up Clay Hill. He's done such a good job, has Chun Chung Ip, of getting up with the McLaren. Is he going to be denied second place? It looks like he is, because there's only really one corner to go. And Simon looks at the screens, looks at his phone. Last corner, last lap. And Chun Chung Ip not quite close enough, but does he get the drive off the corner? Yes, he does, but not enough. It is going to be the McLaren that just hangs on to second place. Great battle. Simon Orange defended really, really.
That Valente Rosso McLaren, though, he's hauled in to the back of Alex Sims and Will Davison in the Penrite Mercedes.
He's had no laps in that car, you know.
They have no laps on Friday at all.
Drivers, yeah.
Max Backler is still under pressure from Chaz Mostert. Bastian Boos is behind the wheel of that Absolute Racing yellow and black Porsche. The point I wanted to make as well is what these early safety...
Boccolacci leads Yeye with Jaden Ojeda third. Bastian Boos driving that number 4 alongside Lou Wei. Picarello sharing that car in various points of the year. Oh, and a little challenge from Ben Green on Boos. Or was that Sims on Menzel? That's Sims on Menzel for 6th position. And hunting further back down.
Now there's a lot more energy and effort being put in because he wants to get past. He's had enough from the back of that Ferrari.
Yeah, he knows that Schandorf's best hope here is to back him up to Van der Linde, and he's got to show that he's not going to do it. I said on my preview of the lap here at Rickard, it's a short break at turn 3. It's 100 metres, so there isn't really an overtaking. That's why I had the big breath inhale, because you just don't see it work there. And it looked like as soon as Boos tried it, he was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And that's when you see contact, is when you're trying to get out of a move that can't be done. Made a mistake. Here's the mistake, or was it? Pittard is in the door of him, forcing him out wide on the exit of 12. How does Pittard not get this move done? Vermeulen chops across the front. They're still hitting each other side to side into turn 13, 140, 150 kilometers an hour at this point. And Vermeulen just sends it across the front of Pittard.
So he's not allowed to overtake. So you saw him actually on the brakes halfway down the straight because he knew he couldn't get past this big brute. Oh, what's that? Is that car off on the right-hand side there? Yes, it is, and it's the 4. No, it's not the 45. I thought we saw a car on the right-hand side, and the tracking suggesting it was a 45, but the 45 is coming into the pits.
Fighting the car, Arca wagged the tail of the Audi at him, but Boccolacci doesn't want to be overtaken. He wants the place back, but that looked like his error going into Paddock.
It did actually, yes. I think he just braked a bit too late. He's coming back at the Audi now, got the inside. Let's see how they run out of this corner. And the Surtees have gone down the dip now. Yeah, the Audi just got that.
Round the lap, have a look. Let's try and work out what happens to Robin Knudsen, who comes into view there. And he gets tagged by Simon Birch.
I don't know, it kind of looked like Birch was going for a hole that was always going to close. And he was carrying a bit too much speed. Get another view here.
switches sides, doesn't he, and just clips the back of him.
Yeah.
Solcheni did, you know, and he's through, and that will give him now 5th position on the road. But remember that the KCMG car should be pitting by the end of this lap, whereas Verstappen will have 2 more laps of fuel. This is Ice Curver, the corner in the foreground. It's a big lose, completely on its own, actually, and the white BMW was the innocent party there, because all of a sudden the black BMW was at 90 degrees and smacking into it.
A championship on the line, and it's 2 of the contenders who come together, Joe.
My instinct was Petrobelli was down the inside enough for that to be a legitimate move, and Dawson closed the door on him. That's my first take on it. There was that awkward moment when they locked eyes, sat across each other on the track. Kevin Say now has gone off as well. That could have been more contact. He was in a cluster of cars coming up.
Racing at Alton Park, and it is going to be Rob Collard versus Giacomo Petrobelli. Petrobelli was ahead. Rob Collard fights back on the inside line. Petrobelli gets roughed up, and somebody else came really, really wide. That looked like it may have been Charles Dawson, but as they drop down towards Cascades for the first time, Rob Collard has managed to get away. Petrobelli back up the inside to go second. It's Kevin Say in 3rd place, but that could have been a rather messy start. James, they just about got away with it.
They did. Collard.
EBM Porsche with Klaus Bachler behind the wheel trying to get ground and being bottled up behind the Mercedes. How's the traffic jam?
Witz lets the Corvette go. Does he come to the lane here?
Well, he's going to stay out until he's told.
I reckon you wait until you're called.
Yeah, exactly.
So here comes Bailey Hall to take his drive-through penalty. That's smart.
Yes.
Get that done before any potential safety car.
So if you're just joining us, they taped this.
One saying, look, I didn't scratch it at all. As under big defence, Alexander Sims. And I think that's because Sims has just moved himself ahead of the number 4. Yes, he has. So Sims has got past Bastien Bus. And Bus is going backwards here. And for the title, that is bad news. Now, Alexander Sims can play.
Not only is the Aston on the move, but the Merc is not staying, is it, with the top 3? Juncker dropping back. And now, look, Marco Sorensen gets a tow. That's going to give him another 10 kilometres an hour or so, up to 290 kilometres an hour in a straight line. And the Aston just breezes by. See you later. Onto the Mistral they come then. And this battle down for 24th place. Simon Reicher is in the Audi. And the BMW dropped back. BMW, that's been another big winner. The cars that pitted first have certainly gained a lot of track time in a lot of places. So the green flag waves once more, and away we go, back racing as we've had nearly 58 minutes of the race now. This is on board with Matteo Cairoli.
This is going to be wild. The lead Porsche is 4 seconds a lap slower than the quick cars, so that car's got to filter through the whole of this pack. It's going to be wild. Drivers have got...
But Nico Menzel has absolutely loved this Beijing circuit since the start of the weekend, and is putting Yu Kanemaru under pressure. Nissan haven't had a win since Suzuka 2024. Little bit of a gap then to Daniel Liu. Great running position for him. And then look at Bastien.
Speed Porsche as they come into view. Bastien Bus then hanging onto the advantage. Chris Lullen in 2nd place in the Red Bull liveried Mercedes. Just like we saw in race 1, a good first lap for the Porsche. It's built the gap.
Yeah, it really is the car that's hooked up around here. There are issues in race 1, but straight away he seems to have a half a second gap.
Back into the hunt though now because he catches up. This is looking from Maurice Schuring's Porsche. Look at Danny Juncker. He was on his toes at the start, wasn't he?
Absolutely. It probably made the best start of everyone, but he just had nowhere to go.
And Schuring likewise thinking, you know, is there an inch I can take on the outside without running too wide? He's got traffic on the inside of him and loses out because that's Mathis Lismon's BMW coming back at him. Ricardo Feller by this point has gained 2 or 3 lengths.
To a dive plane. Now, is that the scarring of Verstappen's slight off going towards Flansgarten when he glanced the barrier and potentially removed one of those dive planes which might be slightly out of shape? So you had one of the mechanics having to leap over the work of another so that the tyre change could be done.
There's nothing on the windows of our commentary, but yes, it is. It's spitting. It is spitting. Looking out of the window here, you can just see by the bridge. Yes, it is starting to spit.
Down the inside at Guven, who was struggling to get
the field nicely spread out so that when you do have to serve the extra time, 20 seconds extra in the case of car 42, you don't lose as much track position. Early safety cars are not good for for 2C's Motorsport. The pace slows, the full course yellow is being thrown, and the pace therefore will reduce. We get the notification slightly later than the drivers did, I think, that the full course yellow was out, and yeah, I agree, this will almost certainly eventually lead to a safety car period. ET4. So this was a lap ago into the same corner. That's the 25 BMW nipping up the inside of Andrew Howard. Andrew comes back at him into the loop. And, well, rather predictably, paint is traded. And I think that number 25 car is going to go around. John Kearney in the Century Motorsport BMW. That looks worse than it is. There's nothing really at that point Andrew Howard can do to get to the side of the spinning BMW. This is what happened to Beauvais. He's battling with Nick Jones, James. And, well, they both seem to go for the same bit of racetrack